What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, back from vacation, so we had some fun getaways and stuff like that. We'll have another one coming up this weekend, so a little bit of lighter content. But without further ado, let's talk about Japanese meta, shall we? It is Tuesday after all. So, EX-05, very interesting format. So far, we're only in week 1, and taking a look at it, we have 8 Anubismon top by this week, and then Shine Greymon at 7. Then you have Purple Blue Garurumon, SOC, 5 tops. You have Red Black Greymon, Leopardmon, all 5 tops. Then you have Fang Longmon at 4, 4 Mugans, 4 Jelly, 4 Mirage, Leviarmon at 4, Bloom Hydro Quartz at 3, Hunters at 2, Setcon at 2, Gammamon at 2, Beelzemon at 2, Leomon at 2, Royal Knights at 2, 1 Edamon, D Brigade, Red Purple Mill, Beelzestar or Bellastar, Red Hybrid, Black Omni, Yellow Vaccine, Alphamon, Mintamon, and Dark Knightmon. So we could just see that people are just trying out the format, and I think there's also just some interesting data here is that, like, the top contender, Shine, is still the only one pushing into the top tier still from the previous couple sets. And then, you know, you have Yellow Vaccine, which is BT14, not really showing any work. Maybe it's just because new deck syndrome. I would figure with the rise of Anubismon, you would see more Yellow Vaccine, which is Seraphimon with the Patamon, all that stuff. But I feel like that people are just sticking with Shine because Shine's still really fast and really nasty. But you have Anubismon being the new big bad by the looks of it, just by one top. We'll see if this progresses through the rest of the format. And let's see what happens by their BT15. But it's good to take a look at this glance here. But let's talk about the decks themselves. We first have none other than, we're going to talk about Leopardmon X Antibody. The new, really interesting way of playing green this format. So with Leopardmon, when Digivolving main effect, you may play 1 green Digimon card from your hand for the cost. When it would be played by this effect, reduce the play cost by 4. If a card with Leopardmon in its name or X Antibodies in its traits in Digivision, reduce it by 3 more. So basically, this is where the deck's real strength is. There's a lot of level 5s with 7 costs in the list that you basically play for free. And then your turn, once per turn, when you would play a Digimon, you may return one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less to their hand. For each of their other Digimon with 3,000, add 3,000 DP to the max that you can choose with this effect. So the wider your board gets, the nastier it can be. But the fact that it got a blue effect, I mean, the bouncing to hand, I mean, I was figuring you would spin this back to deck for his effect, but being bounced to hand is kind of just still that blue effect that lingers on. So you can still play it with, like, the blue leopard. I kind of see what they're trying to do with it, but you really wouldn't be doing it here. But you have the green Leopardmon from BT13 being able to do the same thing, but only for reduced cost 4, so making your level 5s only 3 reduction. But when you play another Digimon, all your green or Royal Knights in its traits gain blocker until the end opponent's turn. It's a lot of variables here. Then you have, like, the Deva themselves on play, draw a card. Then you may play 1 Digimon with Deva in its traits, different card name, in your battle from your cards in your battle area, or trash from your hand to an empty space in the breeding area for the play cost. When your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, draw a card. Then you have Mahiramon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 7,000 DP, then until the end of opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon doesn't unsuspend, and then when this Digimon would Digivolve, reduce the cost by 1. So if you have Mahiramon, go into this Leopard, then you go into the X Antibody becomes free, but then you have, like, Valkelamon, which is another Deva, does the same thing when it's on play, and then when your opponent's Digimon is deleted in battles and it survives unsuspend this Digimon, you at least get some attacks. You know, it's pretty good. And then your turns, while this Digimon has 4 Sovereign or Great Beast traits, this Digimon gains Piercing. Then you do have, like, Valjiramon, who's basically your when you use an option card with a cost 1 or more, gain 1 memory. While this card, Digimon has 4 Sovereign or Great Beast in its traits, it gains Piercing. It's not bad because then you can use your Agility Training and Memory Boost, and it becomes a lot cheaper, which is scary to see a reduction in any way. But, you know, you have Ibuamon basically being able to do your Blast Digi-Evolution on play for each card with Deva or for Sovereign's Trace. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then all your opponent's Digimon don't unsuspend until the end of opponent's next turn. Standby unsuspend phase. Then on deletion, delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Not bad. Like, there's plenty of good techs in the deck, and there's a lot of ways of going about it. And then you can use Jellymon for its alliance to get bigger numbers and swing in without batting an eye. And then you can lock down boards with Quartz because you're just going to spam out a big wide board for nothing. And then your opponent, you can't really answer all these level 5s that are hitting board because, again, Leopardmon X Antibody is just going to spit out things by breathing. Then let's talk about Jellymon. Jellymon, definitely seeing it ticking up, so it's really good to take a look further into this. What's really making the deck play really well is the mental trainings and the Blue Mem boost. Being able to be combination in this deck really does help out. It speeds up the deck. You know, you also have Anubismon Ace, so on play when Digivolving, you may trash up to 4 blue cards in your hand. For each card trashed by this effect, trash any number under your opponent's Digimon or Tamer, then return one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers with no cards under it to its owner's hand. You know, that's really solid, but when attacking by returning 3 cards with Jellymon in its card's text from trash to the bottom of the deck, this Digimon gets security +1 for the turn. So basically, being able to deal double damage is really solid, especially if you can combo it with a Gomamon turn. Makes it so they're not blockable. You know, it really helps out to get through. But you have like Bokomon that'll just guarantee you have jamming as long as while your opponent has no Digimon with equal or more Digi-Evolution cards. When your opponent has no Digimon with equal or more Digi-Evolution cards, then this Digimon gains jamming. So basically what you get is the free swing in because Thisismon will give you the unsuspend. So that's really huge what you need. So this one can return for the unsuspend, and this one is just, you may trash one card with Jellymon's text from your hand, you may unsuspend this Digimon. So being able to do that combination allows you to basically get that multiple security checks with the Ace for nothing to worry about, because you can just remove a lot of the threat. And then you have like cards like Soul Ride to deal with, like Shine Boy, and plenty of other annoying decks. So a lot of wide decks can get shut down by Soul Ride. Just a right-timed one is just nasty enough. But the deck plays really what it wants to do. The deck's going to always do this. And, you know, you have Jellymon who will constantly keep drawing cards the more you unsuspend. You know, the more you climb up, the better. You know, you can take advantage of Tesla Jellymon, basically the Boko to this Jellymon, plus Thesis Jellymon. As long as you have the memory for the turn, you can go into Thesis and then Thisismon into Amphimon, Ace, and then boom, you can just multi-attack from there. You know, just because that jamming skill is just that powerful. Just being able to multi-attack and kill for turn, it just became a OTK deck. So, and then finally, Anubismon itself. Let's see what the big bad of the format is looking like. So, let's take a look. Anubis plays with Mervamon really well. So, Anubismon itself says when Digivolving main effects, you may trash up to 3 cards in your hand, then play 1 purple Digimon card from your trash for the cost. When it would be played by this effect, reduce the play cost by 3 for each card in your trash by this effect, further reduce it by 1. So basically, Anubismon's going to play your Mervamon, who will then give, you know, your Digimon with Retaliation Rush, which you'll be playing your blue Mervas, and the Saber Dramon for that Retaliation push turn. So basically, that's what's helping. And then when your Digimon is played by an effect, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lowers. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, draw a card. And it's not once per turn, so basically this can trigger multiple times, and then you draw a bunch of cards. So it just gets ridiculous pretty quickly. And then you have like Shine, Greymon, Ruin mode to kind of slow down your opponent, especially if you just go wide and then go into Ruin just to make it so like, hey, you can't do anything at this point, and your opponent's just really just staring at a pile of cards, and that's really what happens here. So stuff like this does come up. You have like Blue Meramon for the Retaliation, draw 2 cards. You have Lady Devi. You have Saber Dramon, like I said. Then you have like Doberman X Antibody. Let me double check. You're not. Let's see. 4 or lower. Sorry, Mervamon won't be playing Blue Mara. It'll be like playing Doberman X Antibody. One of your Digimon gains Retaliation until the end of opponent's turn for Doberman X Antibody. So it'll have Retaliation on itself, and then the Saber Dramon will do that as well. I mean, this is really useful. Builds whiteboard. Retaliation's nasty because they can't block very comfortably unless they have protection skills. And being as Metal Garurumon is a deck to fear for the format, if you can just spit out the blockers that have retaliation, the deck really struggles because they can't protect from the effect destruction. They'll protect from battle, but they can't swing in comfortably with a retaliation board unless they can bounce everything prior to that. So stuff like that really does make it harder for the deck to function and move swimmingly. So, I mean, it has a lot of potential being able to build that wide board, use Chimera to recreate a stack for a final Jagras, especially if you go like Dober, Saber, you know, they swing in, they survive, Chimera, bring in another attack, swing in, or you can just digivolve into Anubismon again and just kind of do the whole cycle over again. So it gets really nasty pretty quickly, and the deck has a lot of potential. It's the reason why Death X will probably come back into the format fully, because then you can deal with their wide boards in a sense, because Mervamon likes to tuck under Ignitemon, so you can de-digivolve Mervamon down, Anubis gets de-digivolved down, and then basically you'll clear most of their board by that play. So it's just a lot of good combinations. That's why Death X is kind of just coming back, because the wide board game is back in EX-05, so Death X is just going to become more viable as that format gets going. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!